Misunderstandings that cause us pain. Misunderstandings that cause us pain. Clarified by truth to bring love again. Clarified by truth to bring love again.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala khatamin nabiyyin amma ba'du fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim as-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Rasulallah
salatu was-salamu alayka ya Rasulallah
wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah
wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah
as-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Nabiyallah
salatu was-salamu alayka ya Nabiyallah
wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah
wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah.
The final Prophet of Allah, Muhammad al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam stated, whoever recites salat upon me 10 times during the day and 10 times during the night will attain my intercession on the day of judgment. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Good day viewers of Madani Channel, welcome back to our series Misunderstandings. And Alhamdulillah, in the previous episode we covered life as a family, working together in harmony and understanding and removing misunderstandings between each other. And Alhamdulillah, I'm joined by our beautiful guest, Alhamdulillah, Abdul Hanan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So my dear viewers of Madani Channel, we were looking at the importance of a family and working together. And Abdul Hanan, one thing, Rukn al-Shura, who is one of the members of the Central Executive Committee of Dawat-e-Islami. Dawat-e-Islami is a huge organization, and in order to run it, of course, you need members, you need a shura who talks about the matters and then decides on those matters. So one of them recently came to England, and he was talking about, as an organization, that we are, each member of the organization is like a component of the car. And I was thinking we can also apply that to a family.
MashaAllah.
Like every individual of a family is like a component, a key component. And when you start a car, he said, when you start a car, you put the key and the tire says, I don't want to work. Or the steering says, I'm sleeping today, today's my off day. Or the gear stops working, then you wouldn't have a working car. And that would cause harm, that would cause damage. But as a family, if we are all, even a gear, when we look at a gear and everything just clicks in place and they work together to move. Likewise, if we think of ourselves as components within this family, within this unit, then I think we can work in harmony. But don't you think that in this there's a key part of looking at what the other person needs? Looking at what the other person wants, or looking at what the other person desires, and perhaps sometimes sacrificing your own desires for what they want.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Definitely this is the case, that till we don't learn to sacrifice for each other, you will never able to have that wheel, you can say, that will be the means of everything running, everything going around. Everyone needs to play that little role. Everyone needs to have that little push into that. Everyone needs to have a little movement towards that. And only then you will find that the wheel will go around. Only then you will find that everything will fall into its place and smooth. If you look at it, the families, our parents have always been that starting of that wheel. They've started this circulation, right? The circulation from the mother and the father, from when we were a child, right? The circulation started when they were fulfilling our needs, our hunger, our desires, and all the things which we needed, which we wanted. They were there in front of us, and they provided us with not little but so much that the blessings which we got through them, alhamdulillah, is so great. It's down to children to think on this aspect, that look how they started this, and alhamdulillah, we just need to carry on with that. If they thought, because normally till the age of 15, 16, parents, even a lot later than that, 17, 18, sometimes 20, parents are still doing things for their children, right? Parents are, even that you finish school, now you're going to college, even that you're working, you will find that if you're not past driving, your father or your mother might be still dropping you to work. Or they still might be picking you up from work. Right? They're still there for us, and in all these places. Right? Now we need to, as children, we need to think, are we there for them? Are we there to play that help and that role to them? This is what we need to start thinking. And also, alhamdulillah, in our silsilas, we've been covering where we can be for them. Right? A lot of the time, the issue is brought forward is that what can we do? What shall we do? What is there to do? These sort of questions are coming when everything is being done. But think about even that everything is being done, Mahad, what one person is doing it, or two people are doing it. What about the rest? If everyone played that little role, that one thing which was done with so much effort from one person, when he's equally divided, or when he's divided amongst each other, how easy that person will be, right? How comfort that person will be. And this is the same, that when the whole family starts to play a little role, whole family starts to get involved, whole family starts to help out, right? And especially in the time which we are living in, it's very, very important. Because with the house prices going up, with everything going expensive, one person from the household is not normal cases, it's not enough for his earning to run the whole house. Now in this case, the other members of the family need to help out as well. What happens is, father's working, he's paying the mortgage, his mother's working, she's helping out with the bills, and this is happening. But the children are also earning. But where the children's money is going to their own luxuries, to their own comforts, to their own things. But it's not helping that other circle which is going around with. And like we mentioned previously, eventually that property, that house, will be passed on to the children. Sadly, a very weak thinking in society today. They're doing it for themselves. No, it's not. They are not there for themselves. Their whole efforts are involving our lives. Right? Whole of the expenditure, and I've said this many times as well, that if I was to say that a father or mother has spent $1 million on their children, I wouldn't be wrong. Normally £1 million, or it's a big figure, $1 million, or whatever you look at the currency, which country you're in, it looks huge, right? But from the time of your birth till now,
over the years,
over these years, this money has been spent on us. But when it comes to returning that, when it comes to be playing our role in being that part of that vehicle, we are not there. We are not there in helping out. We're just bothered about having our own car. Rather than helping to run that household, we are looking to have our own property, own house. Okay, it's good. It's not wrong. But we should, when they have spent 20 odd years bringing us up, spending all their wealth upon us and the property, the house, what have we done to pay that back? Right? And I tell you, your parents will never ask for that payback. They will never ask for that favor to be paid back. But as children, we need to have this
sense of responsibility
that it is now our duty. It is now our time to pay them back.
And right? Sometimes, Abdul Hanan Bhai, parents are struggling, but they don't want to show it to their children. They don't want to worry their children. Or they don't want them to, feel burdened because of that. Maybe because, they're studying and they don't want to distract them from their studies. And, they will hide those struggles. They will not put it out in front of their children. We talked about previously, telling your children about your struggles, and the mother telling about the father and the father telling about the mother. But sometimes both parents, they don't tell their children.
Even to the extent they wouldn't even share the illness with you, right? A lot of parents are like this. I've known cases where the father or the mother, whoever, the elders of the household, they've been diagnosed with cancer. Right, but they didn't tell their children. Right, but instead they were trying to be more helpful towards their children, more caring towards their children. But a child never thinks like that. Right, all you hear normally from the children today, the youth today, is, what did they do for me? They don't care. Right, this is all these complaints you are hearing. Really, they don't know what's behind the curtains. They don't know what their parents go through for upbringing you. There may be days when you were in hospital, then they didn't sleep, but they sat next to your bed, right? on a chair, you were sleeping on the bed.
No.
Many parents will go through this.
I think, a lot of misunderstandings come from not having this understanding and just thinking negatively about your parents, or even from the parent side about their children. That my dad doesn't know, or my mom doesn't know, or why are they always doing this? And the parents thinking the same about their children. Negative thinking, I think, plays a huge part in this. That perhaps they had it easy, even though they had it very difficult. Or the parents thinking about modern times, they've got it easy. But because the society has developed and there's new problems now that the parents don't know about, which are causing a problem to the children. Of course, sometimes there is no comparison between parents and children. They can't be in reality. But from both sides, there's negative thinking. If you go back to episode 1, we talked about shaitan and the nafs. And we said, the shaitan whispers in the heart of, you and I don't have the power to put something in the other person's heart. But shaitan has that power. And so, this negative thinking, constant, some people are so negatively, they have such a negative thinking that even if they're happily, sitting somewhere, they will change the thing into a problem. Now, some people have this mindset of getting the solution to the problem, and some people have getting the problem out of the solution. So, what do you think about this? Negative thinking. Let's start off with from the parent side. Parents thinking negatively about their children with regard to this.
Personally, Mahad Bhai, although you put forward the parents thinking negative about their children, I think in majority of the case, this is not the way really. It's the way the child is thinking.
But it is found.
There can be a case of it, but it's very little. Right? It's very little. That child will understand when he will become a father. That how can a father think negative about his son? Right? He always thinks the best for his child. A mother always thinks the best for her child.
No, of course, what I'm trying to say is, they might be thinking the best. But for example, the child did something, and now the parents may be thinking badly, negatively about, he's done this. And even though the child's intention was not to cause that problem, but he's caused that problem. Even, for example, as I mentioned, in the previous episode, some parents don't like surprises. Now, if the child surprises them,
you're talking about a very rare percentage here.
Okay.
There can be cases like this, but again, it's very rare that the parents actually have a negative thinking about the son. It could be that the son could be at a very level of piety and the parents are away from the deen. Maybe that will be the case because alhamdulillah, our deen first of all makes you positive, right? And deen makes you strong. You have the deen, but even the natural feeling of the parents is never negative either. You'll find the natural feeling of the parents towards the children is always positive. It's very rare that they will go on a negative side. But even if there is a case like this where the parents are thinking negative of their children, or just thinking that my son is doing wrong, or they've seen him, they've seen him go somewhere, and in Sharia, our Sharia gives us that mindset that even if you see someone in the wrong place, think 100 positive things before you think that he's gone to a wrong place to do something wrong.
Try to make an excuse.
Right, try to make an excuse.
Figure out a way.
So, parents can, and alhamdulillah, in normal cases, this happens. Even if the father says, no, I seen him do this, the mother will back him up. And if the mother says it, the father will back him up. This is the uniqueness of parents, right? They will always be, one or another will defend the child, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. It's very difficult that this will actually happen. Normally it will happen from the child side. The child starts to think, my father doesn't understand me, my parents don't understand me, they don't understand what I'm going through. Okay, if they don't understand what you're going through, have you ever explained to them? Right? It's easy to say you don't understand me, but have I ever sat down with you and gone through the whole problem and the whole situation, the whole scenario? If I haven't, then for me to say it that you don't understand me, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? We've never had that conversation. So first of all, if you think, right, your parents don't understand you, and I will suggest to all the viewers of Madani Channel here, especially all those youth who are listening, who have parents who are alive, you know, and this is in your mind that your parents don't understand you. First, go and sit down with them. Let's sit down with them and speak. The problem is we don't have time for our parents. You don't sit with your parents. You don't communicate with them. Oh, there's no attachment towards them. And then you say they don't understand me. Then, you know, how can I say anything regarding this matter? It is your fault that they don't understand you. Because you have hidden yourself in such a way. How would they understand you? When you are in front of them, they understood when you were hungry. They understood what you needed to eat. They understood what you like. So because you veiled yourself from your parents, now you are saying they don't understand you. It's actually because of you veiling away from them, hiding away from them, and try to do and, you know, little things. You know, as soon as your father says or your mother says, "Show me your phone," no, it's like you become so protective. This is going to create that negative. Why should you have something which is wrong in your device in the first place? Right? There should not be nothing wrong in there, right? And you know, this is I'm just giving an example, right? How they will start to think negative regarding the children. When you are hiding away something in your pockets, or when you are going, you know, you come from shop, you've done shopping or whatever you've done, you come with a bag and you're going straight upstairs. And your parents call you and say, "Look, beta, son, what is it? Daughter, what is it you bought?"
Yeah, but
no, nothing. And you saying nothing when they've seen a big bag in your hand, it's going to cause a negative problem.
It's going to break their trust.
Yes.
Because you're hiding something and
you are going away. What is it that to be hidden from your parents? Right? Think about it. Your parents don't hide anything from you. Everything is in front of you. So when they don't hide anything from you, why should you be hiding from them?
But someone may say, "Yeah, I don't know if they hide anything from me. How do I know if they've hidden anything from me? If they're hiding something, I don't know it."
Normally, parents don't hide. They come out with it. They'll tell you everything. And Alhamdulillah, a mother and a father is like an open book. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, this transparency from the children's side. Sometimes, you know, again, as you mentioned, that sometimes us youngsters, we tend to hide stuff from our parents. Sometimes it's because we think, you know, again, that they won't understand. You know, there's one thing that they don't understand, but there's another thing they won't understand. They won't understand. Even if I try, they won't understand.
It's like, you know, I'll give you an example. You bought something, and I can understand why this is. Right, but you've got to understand them as well. So there's a misunderstanding from both sides. You know, you say you bought a jacket, or you bought some trainers. So you're trying to hide it from your parents, right? And you're hiding and you're taking to your parents say, "Show me," and then you show them, and they look at it and they go, "Oh, these must be expensive." Now you're gonna hide the price. You're gonna lie to them.
Yeah, but you know, someone might say, "You know, if I tell them, they're gonna get angry at me. Oh, why'd you buy something so expensive?"
Right? You know, there's a way of. First of all, by you lying, they know the facts of these things anyway. They know how much it is. They know it's expensive. You know, you can tell by looking at an item. I'm a father, so I know my son walked in with something. Right? I will know how much the item is worth. I know what's in the market. Right?
You've been around for many years.
Don't make me that old, but you know, I know what's on the market, what things are priced. So parents know. So first of all, hiding it is not the right point, right? And then hiding the price or telling them a lie. Keep in mind, lying is a major sin in Islam, right? People don't realize what lying is. You know, it's so easy to lie, especially to your parents. "Oh, I didn't know this," or "I didn't do this," or "I didn't," you know, all these excuses. So one should really avoid lying first of all, because that one lie is going to lead to another lie. And it's going to lead to another lie. And like this, you'll lie 100 times to protect one lie. So why lie in the first place?
Why lie?
And you know, even I tell you, the nature of parents is such that even they will say, "Look, this is very expensive. It's not the end of the world." Tomorrow they'll end up praising you. "Kitne sone lag rahe. How nice that looks on you." Right? Tomorrow they might end up praising you. That "Look how beautiful this looks on you." Right? So even today, and this is what a child is got to understand, it's natural for parents who have had a struggle in life, who have saved every penny of and then they spent all that money on you, and today you just go out and buy something in one go like this without thinking how it's going to be affordable, where it's going to cost.
Yeah, but it's my money.
Even if it's your money, the point here is to be mentioned is, see, they've seen the hard side. When you say there's hard times now, then there were hard times then, but there's a huge difference in hard times now. Hard times are now because we have made them hard. If you look at the facility around us, it's not hard. Everything has become easy, whether it's transport, journeys, our living styles, our living ways, the machinery which we have, all these things men were doing themselves. Our parents were, I remember when, I remember my grandmother, right? My mother's mother. So my grandmother, she used to fetch wood. Wood, and on that wood she would make the curry. So there was no gas in the house, so the cooking was done on wood. So they light up the wood and they light up the fire with the wood, and then they would cook on that. And then that wood was bought from different places and going into the fields, into places, and they will find pieces of wood and they will gather it and bring it back. Or they will go to certain place and they will cut it from trees or hedges and they'll bring it back. And I'm talking about a grandmother here, right? And even in old age, because we were children when we saw her alive doing this, so you can imagine she was still aged. So she must have been over 70, and she was doing this, and she was cooking, she was going through this day, and this was their lifestyle. They didn't have a tap in their house where they'll open up a tap and water will come through. They had the hand pump. In some parts of the world, you still see that. They had to basically fill a bucket with water. And if in winter, could you imagine how the water would be? It will be cold. Then how would they warm it? On fire again. Allah. And the water will boil. Then the time, the consuming, everything. This is the life they lived. Right? And then our parents came, they might have it a bit easier. So every generation, we're probably getting easier. But we are making life difficult for ourselves.
Meaning there's more facility.
More facility. But we are making life difficult for ourselves. And for us to say this, oh, they don't know the hard times we are going through. Actually, we don't know the hard times they went through. Because they went through a lot of hard time. Right? Even just purchasing this house or moving from one country to another or one land to another. They've done this. We've got the ground, we've got the base, we've got a roof over our head, all this. Some of them in their times never had these facilities. So look at it in that way. So when they've gone through the struggle of life in hardship, they've saved every penny, right? They've worked for literally nothing, right? And we think we've earned money, right? Because it's our own money, we can spend it in the way we want to. I'm not saying you can't, right? But I'm just making you realize the vision of your parents.
They're thinking it.
They're thinking why they would say to you, why did you spend so much? Oh, look how expensive it is. Because they've never in their lives have bought anything expensive like this. They've never spent money on something like this. Yes, they might have on you. Not on themselves. So you try to understand this. As children need to understand this, what our parents, when they say something like this, it's not against our way of living. It's teaching us. And this should be a place where we should be learning, a place where we should be reflecting and gaining a lesson from this.
So my dear viewers of Madani Channel, maybe we try to hide from our parents, but what about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is as-Sami' al-Basir, is all hearing, all seeing, and even the witnesses on our shoulders, the kiram and katibin, they know what you are doing. So what about them? Perhaps we can hide from our parents, but can we hide from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So we should really ponder over this, and this is for everyone. What am I doing? Why am I hiding? Am I doing something wrong? And if I am, why am I doing that wrong? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to do the right thing, allow us to listen to the haqq, and allow us to say what is true. Ameen. Bijahi Nabiyil Ameen. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Keep watching Madani Channel. We will see you in our next episode. Sallu ala al-Habib. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Misunderstandings that cause us pain. Misunderstandings that that cause us pain, clarified by truth to bring love again, clarified by truth to bring love again.